Hello Miss, my name is Dinda Nisa and for this project I choose the topic the development of applied linguistics. So what is applied linguistics? Applied linguistics is an interdisciplinary field which identifies, investigates, and offers solutions to language-related real-life problems. Some of the academic fields related to applied linguistics are education, psychology, communication research, anthropology, and sociology. Definition of applied linguistics. Applied linguistics is the utilization of the knowledge about the nature of language achieved by linguistic research for improvement of the efficiency of some practical tasks in which language is a central component. Development of applied linguistics. Early history interest in language and language teaching has a long history, and we can trace this back at least as far as the ancient Greek, where both Plato and Aristotle contributed to the design of curriculum beginning with good writing or grammar, then moving on to effective discourse and culminating in the development of dialect to promote a philosophical approach to life. According to Howard, 1999, if we focus on English, major attempts at linguistic description began to occur in the second half of the 18th century. Development of applied linguistics. Applied linguistics during the 20th century, an overview of the century. The real change in linguistic description and pedagogy occurred during the 20th century. At the beginning of the 20th century, second language were usually taught by the grammar translation method. However, the method grew into a very controlled system with a heavy emphasis on accuracy and explicit grammar rules, many of which were quite obscure. As the method became increasingly pedantic, a new pedagogical direction was needed. 1948, a realistic history of the field of applied linguistics would place its origins at around the year 1948, with the publication of the first issue of the journal Language Learning, a journal of applied linguistics by Davis, 1999, Kaplan, elsewhere in this volume. Although there are certainly other possible starting points, particularly from a British perspective, this dating still accords roughly with discussion of the beginning of applied linguistics. 1950. Over the year, the term applied linguistics has been defined and interpreted in a number of different ways. In the 1950s, the term was commonly meant to reflect the insight of structural and functional linguistics that could be applied directly to second language teaching, first language teaching or L1, literacy and language art issues as well. 1960. In the 1960s, the term broadened to cover matters of language assessment, language policies, and the new field of second language acquisition or SLA, focusing on learning rather than on teaching. In the 1970s, the field of applied linguistics was accompanied by more overt specification of its role as a discipline that addresses real-world language-based problems such as language assessment, SLA, L2 literacy, multilingualism, language minority rights, language policy and planning, and language teacher training, although the focus on language teaching remains central to the discipline. In the 1980s, applied linguistics truly extended in a systematic way to encompass language assessment, language policy and planning, language use issues in professional setting, translation, lexicography, bilingualism and multilingualism, language and technology and corpus linguistics. 1990. By the beginning of the 1990s, a common trend was emerging to view applied linguistics as incorporating many subfields and drawing on many supporting disciplines in addition to linguistics. Example, anthropology, education, English studies, modern language, policy studies, political science, psychology, public administration, and sociology. Combined with these two foundations, subfields, and supporting disciplines was the view of applied linguistics as problem-driven and real-world based rather than theory-driven and disconnected from real language use data.